session of the day. The topic remains innovation, need of digital age. And to do the honors, and I shall call upon Mr. Harsh Jha, Executive Vice President and Head PMO from Nuvama Group, formerly Edelweiss Broking Limited. Well, Mr. Jha is an Executive Vice President and Head PMO at Nuvama Group, Mumbai. Nuvama Group is a part of India's largest wealth management platform. Mr. Jha is an inspirational leader with more than 20 years of experience in shaping and interacting and interaction and making impact on technology for organizations. That's not all. Mr. Harsh Jha is going to represent Trejhara Solutions, a group of company of Orient Pro Solutions. Trejhara is into customer communication management and customer experience domain. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause for Mr. Harsh Jha?
Such an interesting session by Shanky. All the insights, every time, I hear him and all the insights he gives, it's still processing, in my mind. So, primarily, quickly about me, Harsh, I'm a part of the Nuvama Group. I look at, we call it the PMO function, but typically the PMO function looks at in technology infrastructure, the enterprise side of applications, overall strategy, and how we would, what we would implement in the next 3 to 5 years. Ideally for technology, it's 3 years, 5 years is a tough one. Security and other things come under the same fold. So mainly today I'll be focusing on saying innovation, and primarily this will be around communication. Now, typical issues which we are seeing and how the demands evolve. These are around the customer needs, and with the 5G coming in, with the bandwidths available, and I'll quickly tell you the customer, the base I'm talking of, primarily most of our customers reside in tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 cities, where there's a lot of new things, new 5G technology, internet and all is not a problem. People are consuming more and more through these channels. So typical needs are changing, the consumption patterns are changing. And we're still, giving a lot of, we're delivering a lot of reports and stuff through a very standard, statement, read-through reports. Earlier, there was another aspect of it, that the digital innovations which we were doing, we were mainly doing it for the large chunk, which is for the retail or the mass affluent. The change which we see typically is that the HNIs, ultra HNIs, who were very used to the relationship, a relationship manager serviced kind of a thing where they had a lot of things personalized. The RM would make a lot of statements for them, and they would get a very personalized service. They are now adapting a lot of, they are adapting the digital platform, and they are very choosy. They want a lot of customization. They would want a lot of, personalization, what we see to their reports. And technically, which is, making us think a lot, saying that how do we go about that? And of course, they can just ask for different dice. Some would want to look at it visually. Some would want to look at it graphically. And these needs are very, especially for the HNIs, ultra HNIs, these needs are, they're very choosy about these things. And typical challenges, if you see, look at the keywords, the tracking of it, delayed communication, logistics, personalization, these are the typical key issues which we face, saying that loads on our, the load on our call centers, the load with our relationship managers and everything. So, and that of course will result in lesser, the entire team would be busy with doing servicing rather than cross-selling, upselling, and doing new things around that. So, of course, now, I would be talking today mainly about is a very audio-visual, AI-enabled type of communication to the customers, where I give them, say, one type is that I give them a report or a statement which is clickable, which is customizable, which works in an online world as well as an offline world. So he can consume it on the go. You know, you can have it with, he can, on the statement, he can, without being connected, he can do slice and dice around that. He can change a table to a graph. He can click something, and if he's interested in a certain program, in a certain product or something. Also, you know, if there's a, I would also do personalization. Personalization to a level saying that different customers have different risk appetite. So based on his risk appetite, I will do promotions or pitch him products in the same statement, which are, you know, typically clickable. He can just go to a literature, or he can just jump to a video where he can just see that what the product is about, and he can initiate his interest or onboarding through that. So a lot of things happen with just solving one purpose, saying that I'm making it, I'm just sending him a statement, but at the same time, what I've done is I have pitched a new product to him. I have also, maybe, you know, I've also generated a lead for it, or maybe if it's an automated onboarding process, it's a DIY kind of a thing, I could just get the client on board onto that. So typically these statements, you know, would have these other features. I would not want to repeat them. Similarly, a lot of people, you know, prefer to consume sorry, I think I missed one slide, I'm so sorry. So this is the next one, where I would talk about audiovisual, you know, saying that my statements are videos, you know, and my clients can just, instead of going through the literature or the statements which we send, the entire statement is built up like a story. And these tools could just go where you can just play these, and it's like an audiovisual experience where it's showing you certain aspects on it. It's like a news or any content which we consume. These are extremely powerful because we audiovisuals, you know, how comfortable we all are with YouTube, consuming content on YouTube and stuff. Even if you see a lot of these news sites, websites now, they put in a play button there where, you know, it'll read out all the news for you. So that's a very powerful way of consumption. These could be, of course, a person would not sit there and shoot for these. These are generated automatically. So that's how this is one thing which would change the world, and maybe at the end of the session, we can play the sample video or whatever. So quick reasons why an audiovisual statement, you know, where people can, you know, there are some stats where they read it fast, where they process it faster, where they retain more, higher retention. Some stats on visual learners. So this is where we see that this is really an in thing, and especially someone on a flight, on the move, while driving, if they get to know their statements and stuff, and they can immediately, you know, click on something, connect to their RMs, have their queries, sort it out. I think that's extremely powerful. The next, also the innovation around here is saying that you solve a lot of stuff using AI. I know it's a buzzword. We've been, you know, for all of us, at least for us at Nuvama, and including, I know, a lot of other BFSIs, AI has been a strategic, you know, it's one of the large strategies for the next 1-2 years. And that's where, you know, you've seen the success of chatbots. I don't want to talk about chatbots, but they've been earlier they evolved, but now I think it's a very successful use case across. Similarly, I'm saying for customer service, for straight-through processing, and a lot of cases where you know, uh, say a customer puts in a query, but his query language-wise may not be very refined or whatever, and a person can, and we can just use AI to do that, solve it, do a lot of wealth managers are now using it for portfolio management or doing recommendations, say on your, say like a portfolio doctor saying, what do you have in your portfolio, what you should do and all of that. And AI just generative AI does it so such in a personalized way for you that it's the next in thing. A lot of, I think the most of these where they had very hard coded applications are now moving to AI because with time, the intelligence and the logics, that also gets further refined. Some stats again, 83%, of course, I think across BFSIs, certain functions, operations, HR, technology, we are very, we are very strategic. We will be investing a lot in the next couple of years onto this. The growth of AI market and everything, see 190 billion by 2025, I think it could just surpass that as well. Certain things you can, a lot of people now sometimes, I was just looking at certain, a young guy from one of our product managers who's just started to use LinkedIn, and he started to put in a lot of blogs and micro blogs onto that. And he started getting comments saying that, are you using Chat GPT or something these days with so much of gyan and all? So, but actually, across your social medias, across a lot of branding, across a lot of marketing, I think it really helps. It really helps, refines, and does a lot of stuff. You can do a lot of promotional, certain other benefits around this. So coming to my last slide, I think these were some benefits which we assume that we will derive out of these innovations, cost reduction across your, making it paperless, cost reduction in operations, reductions around customer queries because the bots will help, or your entire flow only will help. And that's all. Thank you.
I shall now invite Ms. Shruti Dhonde Tejhara for coming here and felicitating Mr. Harsh Jha.